Hey, you guys, say hi when you jump on so I know that you're here. Sorry, I'm late. I'm 4 minutes late. I am 4 minutes late. Four minutes too late. Jump on in, you guys. Say hi when you get in. Hey, Linda. Hey, Brenna. Hi, Pat. Welcome in. Hey, Linda. We are on day 2 of our starter. We are day 2. Who is excited? So today we are going to discard, but we can't use our discard yet. Our discard isn't mature enough, so we need a couple more days before we can start using our discard. But we are going to discard and you're going to throw it away. Now, some big points for today once we start discarding. And discarding out actually just makes your starter healthier when we actually are feeding out. So key points for you guys for starter discard. Do not 100% do not discard into your drain. Any discard you have that we're throwing out right now because we can't use it, normally we would just use it in a recipe. Do not discard sourdough in your drain. It turns to concrete and you will not have a drain. Plumbers love homestead sourdough makers because they make a lot of money off of plumbing issues. Do not put it in your sink. And if you're rinsing off your sourdough spoons, starter spoons, I recommend, which is fine, it's just a little bit, but I do recommend putting a little bit of vinegar in there at the same time to help break it down as it goes down your drain. But please, please, I beg you, do not put starter down your drains. It goes in the garbage. Hey, Tony. That's like my biggest thing, you guys. We cannot put it down the sink. Cannot do it. So you should have your starter, and today we are going to do basically the same thing as we did yesterday, but today we are going to discard some of it before we feed it. I see laughing faces. I see laughing faces. So you have your starter from last night that we started yesterday. So you're just going to stir it up really good and really get it broken down. Now, it's fine, Melissa. If you're rinsing your spoon, it's different. If you're discarding 100 grams of starter down your sink, that's a whole nother story. I wash my spoons all the time without vinegar in my sink. It's not a big deal. It's really about not putting it down the disposal. I try to get off as much as I can of my spoon, and then I rinse it. And then sometimes I'll just add vinegar in to help break it down. You just want to make sure that you do not dump starter down your sink, because let me tell you, plumbers love homestead sourdough makers because we ruin our pipes. It happens all the time. So just don't be that person. I'm training you to not be that person. So you're going to stir really good. Now, we are making our sourdough thicker than normal because I'm trying to account for humidity and for elevations and all of that for all over, right? for me, I know exactly what I need for my temperature here. So if your sourdough starter today doesn't move and it's super thick, before you discard, just add a couple drops of water in there and stir it up. So this one is pretty good. I mean, it's thick, but it's not like dough thick still. If yours is dough thick still, add just a little bit of water right now and stir it up. It doesn't matter how much, you just like just a few drops at a time until you start getting some movement in it, if it's really hard, but that's good. Just add a few drops of water and stir it up. Plumbers are expensive. They are. So you should have a decent consistency that we can actually, you know, get out of the jar. So if you do not, and it's super thick still because of where you're at, just add a few little bit of water right now and stir it up until you got that consistency. Now, if you're hopefully using a scale at this point, if you're not, then you are going to eyeball and you're going to discard about half of your jar. If you are using a scale, we're going to discard 100 grams of starter. Hey, Liz. When I get better, you're going to try it. Oh, good, Liz. Well, we're praying for you for tomorrow in your surgery. And keep us posted when you can to let us know how everything went. We are thinking about you for sure. Okay, so I'm going to zero out my little... Oh, I guess you can't see nothing. You can't see nothing. So I'm zeroing out my cup, so it's at 0. And I am going to discard 100 grams. Now, if you're not using a scale, you're going to discard about a half of your jar. 40. Now, these first initial discards, we normally would use the discard for recipes, but we can't really do that yet. So, yes, we are throwing it away, but this is really going to spike your starter to get moving. So it's a good thing. It gets your starter off to a healthy start. Discarding. Okay. So there we are. So you're about half of your jar from where we started. And this goes where? Where does the starter discard go for right now? Eventually, we will save it in our fridge and use it for recipes. But where does it go today? Comment in the comments so I know you're listening. Where do we put it? Aw, thanks for the star, Sarah. In the trash. That's right. In the trash. Not in our drain. Ooh, that was pretty good. I got one right at you, Sarah. Got one right at you. Okay, so now that we've discarded 100 grams or half of our jar, depending on where we are, if you're measuring or doing your scale, now we're going to feed it again because we got to feed it to make it go good for tomorrow. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed it 100 grams of water and 100 grams of flour again. So I'm going to put it on my scale. I'm going to zero it out. So we're starting at 0. And then we're going to add 100 grams. Oh, you guys, you know what I forgot? So I guess I'll have to do it after the fact. I shared it to my sourdough group yesterday and it didn't share into my group. So I'm going to have to share this into my group after I'm done doing it here for some reason. It's so strange. So we're going to do 100 grams of flour. And if you're using measuring cups, that's 3/4 cup. Around. 100 grams of starter. And now we're going to zero it out. And we are gonna do 100 grams of water. And if you're using measuring cups, you're gonna use 1/2 cup. So then put in 100 grams of water. Grams of water. Actually, that was 102 grams, but that's fine. It doesn't have to be exact. And now we're just gonna stir this bad boy. Oh, you guys, I don't know if I can lift you back up now. I did buy a new phone holder. I promise you guys, it's on its way. You guys are taped to my phone holder right now. You're taped. Yes, good luck, Liz. Everything will be just fine, I know it. So then you're gonna just stir in that flour and water and scrape down your sides. Now by day 3, you should start seeing some bubbles forming. Day 2 and day 1, you don't see much. Not much activities happening. Oh my gosh, we got lots of stars. Thank you, Liz. Wah! And Brenna. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you. Hey, I like this bubble. Got a bubble stuck in the middle. I should see how big, like if we could do like a really big bubble. If we get a lot of stars, I'll do like, see how big the bubble I can make it. Okay, so we're gonna keep stirring it and just make sure that it's well blended in. And like I said, if yours is super thick, just add a little bit of extra water. You want some movement, you don't want it to be solid brick. Scraping down my sides. Blend, blend, blend. Okay, so here's my, oh, I guess I should. Just gotta stir it a lot. You want as minimal chunks as possible. You don't really want the flour chunks in there, but it's not the end of the world. We're in the first few days of our starter, so it doesn't really matter. It'll feed off of it, but you do want to get as many out as you can, which is a little challenging. Okay. I'm flinging starter. So we have our starter mixed in there, and see how it's decently moving? That's kind of where we want it. So there's our starter in there. And then we're just gonna leave it overnight. Actually, let me scrape down. Make sure you scrape down your sides of your jar, because it will tell you when you start getting a little bit of rises. If you don't have a bunch of sourdough dried to the edge of your jar and you're actually down to where it is. So I try to keep my sides of my jar pretty decent as much as I can. So when we do get to the growing point, we don't have like a bunch of starter dried on there that we can't see through our glass. Your starter's like you a little thick. I love you, Sarah. Just add a little bit of water and it'll thin right out. Just add a little water. You just need enough water in there to where you can actually discard it. Because obviously if it's like dough, you're not going to be able to. Just means that you don't have that much humidity, and it's fine. Just add a little bit of water at a time until you get like enough to where you can actually like move your starter around to pour it out. Not too much, just a little bit. Just a little bit. We would rather be thicker and go thinner than to be too thin and not have it actually grow. So that's the goal this time. So why I'm doing this a little bit different is because I want to make sure that we are on the thicker side of things, so we can actually build those cultures in order for it to ferment and grow. You love the bubbles? I do too. They're fun. They are fun. I just was like, how do I do this without putting this on? Okay, so we're going to discard, but we're not going to put it in the sink. We are going with water's you out too. Actually, water is very good for you, Sarah. I love you. You crack me up. So we're going to discard 100 grams or around a half of what you have in here. If it's too thick, add a little bit of water. Stir it up, discard, feed 100 grams of water, 100 grams of flour again. If you're using measuring cups, you're going to feed it 3/4 cup of flour and 1/2 cup of water. You're going to stir it up. We're going to stick our lid on. We're going to make it nice and cozy for the evening so it's nice and warm. And then we're gonna let it sit overnight again. And then tomorrow we'll come back and we're gonna do it again. We are gonna do it again. And then by day 3, after day 4, I guess the morning of day 4, we should probably start to see some bubbles forming. You might even see a little bit of growth. It's really early still. These first 2 days are really critical though, to like make sure that it's fed and warm. You've been a good girl in drinking your water. I'm so proud of you, Sarah. So proud of you. So I will see you guys back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Tuck the funk. I'm gonna have some new sayings after the sourdough adventure with Sarah. So, if you're in my subscriber group, we will be going live later tonight. I need to make dinner though, because I just got off work. So, we will going live in my subscriber group. If you're not a part of our subscriber group, join us. It's $4.99 a month. We are gonna do some earrings in there tonight. And I will see you guys all tomorrow for more sourdough. All right, you guys, I'll blow you one more bubble for all my bubbles that you gave me. Let's try to do a really big one. We almost got it. We almost got it. All right, guys. Bye.